Hello, it is 9:30 on November 29, 2020. One more day of November to go, and we're going to end it on a pretty stormy note. But today was really nice, though we are seeing the Cirrus Stratus roll in, and actually there is a ring. If you look closely, there's like a ring around the moon there. Look at that little ring around it right there from the Cirrus Stratus. So here's the satellite, and you can see we had a clear day, beautiful clear day. The cirrus started rolling in, I guess, later in the afternoon, around after 3 or 4 o'clock, but for much of the day it was clear, not a cloud in the sky, and it was beautiful across the area. Looking at the current conditions right now, variation. Some areas are cooling off, and some areas are not cooling off so much. So if we go out east, where I was hiking in the Pine Barrens today, it's 31 at Gabreski Airport. It is 39 at Shirley. Islip is 42. But as you head west, the temperature up, and they're closer to 50 in Nassau County in many spots, even on the South Shore. 45 in Carl Place. It did feel cool. It did feel chilly earlier, but now that the clouds are rolling in and we're starting to get a little wind, we're starting to lose that radiational cooling, so temperatures are actually going to rise throughout the night tonight. So we're going to look at our highs and lows. We'll go looking at New York City. Temperatures are in the already up into the low to mid 50s. And one of my viewers says, "I don't live in New York City. It's hot in New York City." All right, no, I don't do well in the heat. And many other reasons, but weather is hot there. It's too hot, especially at night. It stays warm because there's nothing. It's all concrete. Why would you want to live in an area that's just nothing but buildings and concrete? At least we have open space here on Long Island. Um, oh wow, look at that! It's colder, much colder in Tom's River. Oddly enough, 37 at Miller Air Park, 39 in Tom's River itself. So Tom's River is actually colder than Long Island right now, which is unusual. But I guess they're getting better radiational cooling than we are. That's the thing about New Jersey. It does get warm during the day, but it cools off at night. So it's not even though it gets hot during the day in Jersey, it cools off at night. So you can somehow deal with it. But the fact is, if it stays warm throughout the night, that's what sucks. I hate that. Looking at the dew points are still pretty low in the mid 30s right now. Let's go take a look at our highs and lows for the day. We'll start off with the low temperature this morning in many areas. So, wow, look at that. West Hampton got down to 24 degrees, 31 at Shirley, 34 at Islip, 34 at Farmingdale. We had some pretty cold readings up on the North Shore, too, in Brookville and stuff. It cools off there, too, by the way, at night. So, yeah, it was pretty chilly last night. Even in the city, LaGuardia got down to 42. Central Park got down to 41. And then as we make our way into New Jersey, lows were in the mid 30s. Let's see how Tom's River got down. Let's see what Tom's River got down to last night. Low is not being reported. All right, 25. Okay, so yeah, it got pretty chilly there too. Because it's Pine Barrens, so the Pine Barrens cool off at night. That's the thing. So now we're gonna look at the high temperature for today, because it got up there. We were in the mid 50s again today, so above normal again today. 51 at West Hampton, 55 in Manaville, 53 at Shirley, 53 at Islip, 53 at Farmingdale. So everybody 55 in Carl Place. So pretty much everyone was in the mid 50s. The city too. Now let's see how New Jersey was. Probably was hotter there. Let's see. Yeah, by a little bit. 55, 56 in Tom's River. Um, but it was above normal. That's all you need to know. It was still above normal today, and we're going to be way above normal for tomorrow. So that's looking at the highs and the lows across the area. So let's go to the National Weather Service page, because we have to deal with this storm that is coming our way. So we're going to go into the weather story. I don't know if they've got a weather briefing that they've created here. Let's see if they have a briefing. This is what they have about tomorrow's storm. So a period of strong winds and heavy rain Monday. So we do have a wind advisory in effect, and for east of our area, a high wind watch. So a period of strong to possibly damaging winds and heavy rain is expected on Monday. Strongest winds likely over Long Island and coastal southeastern Connecticut. Possible thunderstorms embedded with heavy rain in the afternoon. And the Weather Service says we would see this Monday afternoon to Monday evening. Peak winds 25 to 35 miles an hour with gusts 45 to 55. Rainfall 1.5 to 2.5 inches with locally higher amounts. Beach erosion is likely also, and we have gale warnings in effect for the waters. So, yeah, this is going to be a potent storm that's going to be heading into our area. So we're going to get started with the models and explain to you what's happening, and you're going to see this storm take shape now. It's an upper level storm. So we're going to go to the upper level. All right, so you see here's the upper level storm, and it's diving down into the Gulf. All right, so it's diving down into the Gulf. This is a trough that's literally diving in. You can see the trough right here. If we draw that out, you can see we have this trough, right? Let me make this red here. We have this trough right here that's diving down like this. All right, so we're going to be on the right side of it, getting all that warm tropical moisture from the Gulf coming up to our area. So when we move this along, you will see that this thing just deepens, and it really gets deep. So look at how tight those isobars are. Remember, we're looking at the upper level here. So some really tight isobars here on this model, and you can see here again, that's a strong LLJ that's going to be coming up right into our area. It's going to be bringing us this heavy rain. This whole low-level jet phenomenon has become really something as we got into the mid to late 2000s. We started getting a lot of these things that happen in the winter time. So you'll see here, or the fall. So you'll see here that the low obviously goes to our west, so we're stuck in the tropical flow. And look at this, we're at Tuesday, we're still dealing with the right side of the system, and it finally starts moving away a little more toward the north and pulls out, and then we were able to dry out. But then we have another one coming through for Friday. And then after that, we have another trough that's going to develop here, and a coastal storm perhaps. Very interesting to see that over there, and I'm wondering if that could get pulled in, like pulling it in. I don't know if that's I would imagine that is a coastal, not a tropical storm. Look at how it gets pulled in like that as we get into the second week of December, and it's just very cold, very stormy, very deep low pressure systems there for as we get into December. And then it quiets down a little bit, but we still have troughiness in the east, so things are going to be cold, and they're going to be a lot of storms basically with this trough around. So here's the European model. Same idea with this thing. I mean, it really just deepens it. Really deepens it. And then this is the second one here. Look at that. That's so another really deep trough. Unusual to see such deep troughs that are kind of like upper level systems, and they're kind of cut off a little bit from the main. If we look at the main jet stream, here we'll show you what we have. We have a split flow. So this is the jet stream today, and you see there is you have a little bit of a split flow, but then what happens is the two branches kind of come together and form this huge trough, and then you can see it's just huge trough, and this jet stream is just crazy looking. You can see you got a split jet, and just crazy waviness going on here in the jet stream. But we're on the side that's going to favor cold for once. I'm not going to be on the ridge side. So let's go to the surface here, and we'll show you what this all looks like on the surface. So here is your surface low, reflecting of the upper level low, and you can see it goes to the west of us, up the Appalachians. There's that slug of really heavy rain. Look at how close those isobars are. That means a lot of wind when you see isobars that close. Wind lets up by Tuesday, but we still have the troughiness around. It gets cold Tuesday later into Wednesday. See, that's your first cold shot. Then here comes the second system for the weekend, and behind that will be cold, more cold air. And then look at this. So here comes this southern system right here for the weekend, and you see what happens. It really just explodes offshore, and I'm wondering if this is going to be some type of tropical hybrid, but it just bombs offshore. And then what happens is it'll go into Nova Scotia, but the track it takes will keep us in a very cold flow from the northwest. You can see that cold flow, so that means cold weather And that's just a really deep trough there, and we're going to be staying below normal for a while. And then the next system comes. The only thing is, when these systems, the tracks these systems are taking favor rain, so as far as getting any snow, unfortunately, that's not going to happen. We'll just have rain, and then the front comes through, and then it gets cold afterwards. So let's go take a look at the temperature anomaly chart. So it'll show you the chill that's going to be coming into our area. So well above normal Monday into Tuesday with that tropical air coming in, and then here comes the blue, and we're going to be below normal. That one shot there, and then the second shot comes in. That second week, we're going to be well below normal. Look at that second shot, purples over the northeast. So it's and then it gets above normal again, but then we have another shot of cold air behind that. So we will have shots of cold air and a decent amount of them. So let's take a closer look at our area here, and we're gonna I guess start off with the NAM 12 kilometer, and we're going to look at the let's go to the 18Z run, and let's go and take a look at let's look at the 3 kilometer NAM. Alright, this is the 18. This is the higher resolution NAM because it offers radar and 10-meter wind. So this is why I want to use this one. So you see what happens. The winds pick up. Look at that. Very strong southeast winds. Rain starts late morning, and it's heavy right through the afternoon. You can see showers, embedded thunderstorms, strong winds accompanying them, perhaps. And those shower chances linger right into the evening. So it's going to be a wet day tomorrow. I don't think we're going to get lucky and dry out later on. Once we're done with that, then we're just dealing with some clouds, I think, on Tuesday and maybe a couple of sprinkles. But it's going to be real stormy tomorrow. That is what we're going to see is a lot of storminess, and also a lot of humidity coming in with this too as well. You'll see here, if we look at the dew points on the NAM, you will see this humidity just surge into the area here. Look at that, surging right into the area on the southeast winds, literally right out of the tropics, dew points into the 60s, and we don't get those dew points down until probably after midnight on Tuesday, and then we finally start getting those dew points down slowly and more as we go into Tuesday with more of a west flow drying us out. But again, this is going to be quite a system to watch, and I also want to look at the wind at the surface so you can get an idea here. This is the wind at the surface, and look at those reds just off to the south of Long Island right in the afternoon here. Those are sustained winds 40 to 50 miles an hour over the waters. So the South Shore is going to get hammered with a lot of wind and coastal flooding, and it gets even worse as it moves over New England. You can see we're in the green, so even inland we're going to deal with sustained winds 20 to 30 miles an hour. There's going to probably be power outages and problems on the railroad as well. Now, look at what happens when I go to the 850 wind. So we're going to look at the 850 wind. Look at the winds aloft. So the wind's just above us. We're talking hurricane force. And any of these showers and thunderstorms could bring down some of these gusts. So there could be some severe thunderstorm warnings issued tomorrow. It looks like the greatest potential is going to be in the afternoon. And it still lingers into the evening. You can see that. And you can see it's hard to get. It slowly moves away, but you see why. The slow is not really in a rush to get out of here. It's going to kind of sit over the lakes for a little bit, and that's going to keep us in this strong LLJ kind of flow. So this is very concerning. I also want to look at the FGen as well and see what because this is also this is what's going to bring the rain in. So again, very heavy rain across the area. I can go to the other NAM, the 12 kilometer NAM as well, so you can get that as well. So we have a lot to talk about in this weather update, and I know I didn't do one last night. So here you go. Here comes that FGen. Look at that. So this actually shows up better on the 12 kilometer. Look at that. So that means some really heavy rain right there. You can actually see the warm front right here. And you see it coming, and then that wind shifting, and then the cold front developing. So this is some really serious FGen going on. Quite impressive to say the least. And again, if we look at the dew points, We'll show you that warm air just advecting into the area. Here you go. Here's that humid air just advecting right into the area. There you go. Dew point surging up into the 60s. It's going to be very humid and disgusting and tropical. It's going to feel almost like a tropical storm out there. And then we'll look at the winds. This is the 12-kilometer NAM. So again, it's actually a little better using this one. I should have used this one. You can see just the kind of wind we're going to be dealing with just offshore. So it's going to be a lot of wind. I would say we could see as much as 50,000, maybe even 100,000 people losing power on Long Island tomorrow with these such strong winds. And the power system can't handle it. And I'm pretty sure the railroad will wind up getting, I'm sure the main line will wind up getting suspended. You can almost bet on that at this point. So let me look at something else, the 850s again. I want to show you the 850s again here. Look at that. I mean, that's insane. These are hurricane force winds not that high up above our heads. So this is the kind of energy that could be brought down to the surface in some of these showers and thunderstorms. This is going to be really impressive stuff we're going to be dealing with tomorrow. And like I said, looking at this NAM, I'm like, mine is blown just looking at this. And like I said, I haven't even looked at the amount of precipitation we're going to get. So let's go to the total accumulated precipitation here and see how much rainfall we're going to get. And it gives us about between 1 and 2 inches of rain. So let's go to the HRRR, and we will go to the HRRR, and we will look at the 0Z HRRR run. And we'll see, first of all, how much rain that HRRR gives us. So again, between that 1 and 2 inch range. So now let's go and look at the precipitation simulation here on the HRRR. So again, we see this surge of warm air, tropical moisture coming up into the area tomorrow with very strong winds. And again, any of these showers, thunderstorms could bring down some of those stronger winds that are aloft above our heads and cause gusts. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some gusts up to 70 miles an hour. I think that's a complete possibility at this point. I really do. Let's look at the wind on this. So this is the HRRR, and again, this is the surface winds, and you can see very strong winds. And this is these are sustained winds here at the surface, 20 to 30 miles an hour, gusts over 50. And again, if we take it, we look above us, you'll see what we're dealing with right above us at the 850 level. Again, it's just a tremendous amount of wind up there. So any of that could come down and cause some serious problems for us. Looking at the GFS, this is again similar idea here. You see that surge, that LLJ that we're going to be getting. So LLJ means low-level jet. So let's go look at the temperatures, and we're going to go to the HRRR for the temperatures. So I'm focused mainly on the short range because we got this storm to deal with. So I'm not going to really talk too much about the long range. We got to get through this storm first. So these are the air temperatures here. And again, you see that warm air just surging well into the mid-60s with this warm air tomorrow. It's going to really be muggy. This air is coming right out of the tropics. And like I said, we don't see it start moving out of here until Tuesday morning. So you're probably going to want to need that air conditioner and hope the power doesn't go out because you're probably going to need it. And again, this is the dew point here on the HRRR. And again, just incredible dew points. It's going to be like a tropical storm tomorrow, I'm telling you. It's going to be really something. That's for sure. So I'm going to go back to the GFS, and we'll go ahead and look at our temperatures, looking beyond this. So after that surge comes through, we dry out Wednesday, and we'll have dry air for the rest of the week, more or less. Looking at the temperatures, that's where we'll also see some big changes. So as we head into Tuesday, temperatures are going to be dropping through the 50s into the 40s. By nightfall, we're in the 30s, and then much colder on Wednesday. Highs only in the mid-40s for Wednesday. And Thursday, similar deal, maybe a touch warmer. And then as you get to Friday, still chilly. So we're going to be staying below normal after we get done with this disgusting tropical onslaught for tomorrow. I'll briefly look at the clouds. So here's the cloud. Obviously, plenty of clouds tomorrow. Tuesday, plenty of clouds. And maybe Wednesday we can clear it on out and get some clear skies. But like I said, I'm not too focused on that right now. We have this storm that we got to deal with. So let me go look at some of the other models out there. First, we're going to look at Ventusky at the thunderstorm threat, and we're going to also go to the SPC site as well. So let's move this to tomorrow, the 30th. So we're going to look at this, and we're going to look at the Cape levels. So here we are, 10. There's a little bit of Cape, not a ton of Cape out there. Not a ton of Cape, but that lifted index is probably going to be up there. Yeah, the lifted index is up there. So if we have some ingredients for some strong thunderstorms tomorrow. And like I said, with such strong winds aloft, you can see how the winds are just racing through here. This is incredible. So this is the Ventusky site. We can actually go to wind speed if we want and look at this and see the kind of winds that we're going to be dealing with tomorrow. To start off around 10 a.m. We've got the winds sustained around 16 miles an hour. That's not too bad, but as we head toward 1 o'clock, the winds start picking up, and you start seeing some of these sustained winds, especially along the Jersey Shore, up near 40 to 50 miles an hour right at the beach. So this is going to be very stormy, 40 miles an hour at Long Beach, and then you can see that storminess coming in to our area here. It looks like the worst of the wind's going to be along the South Shore, because they're closest to the ocean. So you would think that they would deal with the brunt of the power outages and railroad problems, but we all know they've got solid infrastructure, and that usually doesn't happen, but we'll see. This is definitely going to put it to the test. So these are the sustained wind. Now, again, this is 10 meters above the ground, so let's move this here to 2 o'clock. Which one's 2 o'clock? Or 3 o'clock, so it's 10 meters above ground. Let's go 100 meters above ground. Look at what happens when you go up high. So here you go. Look at this, 100 meters above ground. We already have wind speeds up quite high. So this is what I'm talking about. There are high winds not that high up above us. So all it takes is a shower or thunderstorm to bring those kind of winds down to the surface. This is 100 meters. Now we're going to go to 250. Look at this, 250 meters above the ground. We're dealing with winds 50 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour. So if you're in a tall building in the city, you're probably going to feel it. Or if you're at Stony Brook, some of the tall buildings on Long Island, you'll probably feel it on the top floors. Again, look at these very strong winds here. This is going to be a significant wind event for tomorrow. So now that we're looking at that, let's go to wind gusts. This will be the next thing we're going to go look at now. All right, so the wind gusts are going to also be what is going to bring that wind down. So you can see some of these gusts up near 70 miles. I'm telling you, we're going to see gusts over 70 miles an hour tomorrow. Look at this. Here you go. Gusts up to 61. So these are the kind of gusts we're going to see that are going to cause power outages and problems. Gusts up to 64 miles an hour. So this is what could knock down tree branches onto power lines, cause service suspensions on the railroad. Again, 53, 52. This is really incredible wind that we're seeing here. All right. So let's go to the windy.com site now, and we're going to look at this one. So that one uses I believe the HRRR, that site. So let's see what the Euro has for the wind speed for tomorrow. As we go. So here we go, 1 p.m. Look at this. This is 1 p.m. Sustained winds, 35 miles an hour at Islip. Like I said, off the South Shore, you're going to have sustained winds near 40 miles an hour. Middle of the island, sustained winds around 30 miles an hour. 36 miles an hour. This is going to be incredible. This is just incredible type of wind here that we're seeing. This is like a tropical storm. And the wind is still going to be going until 4 o'clock here. I think once we get toward 8, I think it starts subsiding a little bit. Yeah, it does. But the worst is going to be in that afternoon, time frame. And remember, we're just looking at the wind, not the wind gusts. Let me throw this into wind gusts, and you'll see how scary this starts getting. So here you go, 1 p.m. Look at this. You got wind gusts 60 miles an hour across much of Long Island, 63, and on the South Shore, wind gusts near 70 miles an hour. Like I said, I think there are going to be people gusting to hurricane force. I think we're going to see some hurricane force gusts tomorrow. Here you go, 3 p.m. This is an incredible windstorm that we are going to see here. Just incredible for tomorrow. It's going to be something. It's going to be perhaps the worst windstorm we've seen since we've had Isaias affect our area. That's how bad the winds are going to be. So, like I said, I expect a lot of people to lose power. And we're going to see if PSEG Long Island has their act together, because this is going to be the real test. I'm not counting on them. I count on them screwing up again. That's what I count on them do. The only saving grace is that the leaves are off the trees, so that helps a little bit. But these winds are nothing to sneeze at, let me tell you. And there'll also be some strong waves, too. So if we look at the waves, oh boy, look at this. So the South Shore, you're going to have waves 11 feet. There's going to be significant flooding. And then we have a full moon, so that makes it worse, I believe. So there's going to be significant flooding on the South Shore tomorrow. This is going to be a big storm tomorrow, so I'm warning you, be prepared for a rough day. As far as the impacts go, if you're on the South Shore, you're going to have to worry about flooding. If you're elsewhere on Long Island, you're going to have to worry about power outages and flash flooding from rainfall. But this is going to be one hell of a tropical type of system, very strong LLJ, even though the storm is not a tropical storm. It's going to be sort of like a tropical storm. So keep that in mind. For tomorrow, we have a significant wind event, so I'll keep you posted as long as I can on this. Obviously, if power goes out here, there's not much I can do to keep, to make any updates once that happens. But I'll try my best to give you brief updates as the storm affects our area. Take care, and thank you for watching.